Hi, and welcome to part 3 of my Occult Mage video showcase. This is the final part. We're just going to go through a quick expedition here to show you how the build plays. I'm going to go over to the highest that I've been doing, which is 163 for the max level gear, or so I've been told. There's a few mods you want to avoid. I actually really like having spawn weak enemies on death when you're doing the 3 expeditions total, because it means you have to kill less mobs in order to get to the final boss. You can basically beeline to the boss, and you'll get almost twice as much mobs per pack. So I really like taking this for those. For normal ones, it's whatever. We're just going to take it here to show you what it's like. I like to avoid champion mods if you can. It's just easier. You want to avoid crit damage resistance and occult damage resistance in particular. Everything else is pretty much fine. Yeah, and then we're going to lure the Untainteds. And just have that. So the basic premise of the, here, let's take this one, Chance to Explode, sure, is you're going to want to keep up Bulwark of the Dawn, engage, jump around the map with Aether Jump, engage with Lightbringer, and then when you engage with Lightbringer, apply Anomaly, Solarfall Anomaly, and start Infinity Blading, making sure to maintain Bulwark of the Dawn and using Lightbringer on cooldown. So example for this pack, we're going to try and group them up a little. There's a Hauntstone here, so we're going to pick this one up. Just put all the AoE on top of the Hauntstone. Now if you notice, we're acquiring some buffs. Those are from the Immortal Offering. This is why I said you're going to have them more on mapping than you are on bossing, because they proc when you kill enemies, not when you're fighting them. So as you'll see, we have 4 of the lightning stacks, because the only way we get lightning stacks is through the automatic shock on Lightbringer. So you see, you can roll through mobs. So you can avoid the AoE spits and stuff like that. If you don't have any stamina, you can obviously use either Lightbringer, which you're going to want to use on cooldown anyways, or you can use Aether Jump. But what you can also do is, especially with mobs like this, you can just sit here and tank it. If you have some leech, you're going to block most of it. You're not going to take too much damage, so don't feel pressured to dodge everything. The only real stuff you have to be kind of scared of is some of the Untainted stuff, especially the one that knocks you up in the air, because that's going to stun you for just an unholy amount of time, and it also happens to turn off some of your AoE, which I don't know if it's a bug or it's because some of your stuff counts as channeling. We got 2 of these here. I don't know what happens when these are at range, but they're a bit too far for me to AoE both of them. But these ones in particular are pretty easy, as are the ones that sort of leap. The ones you really have to avoid are the ones that spawn like decoys behind them that heal them, because those ones will never stay in place, and the decoys heal them, so you have to constantly stay on top of killing the decoys, which is a real pain. As you see, I'm not playing too well here. Just getting grabbed by this. You should be able to dodge all of the grabs and continuously pop the break there with smart play. And then he popped there. I'm going to go ahead and try and kill this one too, just because he's here. And I don't really know what he does if he's all alone. Another thing you want to see, you'll see my willpower is being maximums reduced, so if you auto attack more, you'll get it back. That's just the bug. It's currently right now for some reason, which is another reason why using a staff is nice. I'm going to put some AoE down and let him grab me, just so you can see that, okay, he didn't want to grab me there. So you can see that some of these AoEs turn off. I think it is mostly the Solar Fall, because Solar Fall, I believe, counts as a channeling ability, even if you have it as a static. So I've noticed that Solar Fall will pretty much always turn off. Yeah, I don't know if it expired there or he grabbed me during it, but he's almost dead here because, as you see, his health bar is getting close to the 15% threshold. There's the explosion. But like I was saying, another thing to keep in mind is, oh, I forgot to unspec this. I was like, why am I not having willpower? I forgot to inspect that from earlier. I shouldn't be having to use all my willpower just to jump around, because I have enough cooldown. Oh, these packs are nice because they're small and they don't do much. So you could just sit here, AoE, and CC them, and they won't do much. You see we got a nice death ball going by jumping through all of the mobs that we went through earlier. We should just be able to stand in all of these explosions, no problem. Because you have so many hits going on so many multiple things at the same time, your even just 2% life leech is going to be able to heal through pretty much everything as long as it's not one-shotting you. And between Dire Junction and your blocks and some other stuff, you're pretty much not going to get one-shot by anything in the game, really. So we killed the big mob, so I'm just going to keep going. How I like to play these maps is basically just jump around, look for these red mobs, because in my experience they give you the most like bar, and you're gonna stop anyways to AoE your death ball, so you might as well stop on the red mobs. And these are ranged, so I'm just gonna put some AoE on them and then leave. Hopefully leave me alone. Yeah, see my willpower is going down to like 500 or so. I'm gonna try and get some of it back here, but this is just a fun little bug you have to deal with. Which is really the name of the game in Wolcen, just dealing with fun little bugs. I could have gone around the other way for a little faster clear time there, but let me teleport through, please. But that's another thing of why I don't like the teleport range, because as you see, I was trying to teleport through mobs that I clearly should have been able to get to, and it was just sending me backwards for no reason, so... looks like I went the wrong way. I think I'm just going to leave that Haunstone there, it's fine, probably shouldn't matter. And we're just going to drag the death ball over to this red mob here. And we broke him mid-hop, which you'll see happens a lot, especially with the 100% stun thing. Oh crap, one of these. So what you have to do for these, if you have to follow the damn things that say kill, and you have to kill everyone, and they spawn one. See, this guy's easy, but the jumping guy's gonna be a pain in the ass. I might just like leave him alone. But you basically have to follow and kill all of these, because they will heal him. And you have to avoid the dashes, not because they're going to do any damage to you. They'll do some, but it doesn't matter too much. The problem is they're going to stun you for so long that you won't be able to get enough damage down to kill all of the things that say kill, which is just a total pain in the ass. So these are the one mobs that are just a real pain. Especially because we don't have an obscene amount of burst damage. It's mostly damage over time. So you get a nice break on them there. Alright, we managed to take him down. But you really got to stay on top of the... And this guy we should just be able to face tank. He does a good chunk of damage, but it's nothing you can't handle. Alright, now we're just going to run straight to the boss. It doesn't really matter at this point if we bring any mobs along, because any mobs that we bring along will actually help us proc Immortal Offering on the boss, but at some point those mobs will run out and an Immortal Offering might expire on you, and it's fine. You're still able to do the boss, it just takes a while. And you're not going to die, and by a while it just means like a minute or two. It's nothing serious. You're not going to be stuck here for a Greek age. I was able to clear regen bosses back when regen was in the game, so Not too big of a deal here for the bosses. And you see he's only spawned, I got stuck in the fun little attack move there, because you can't force move in this game, unless you hold control down. But you see he spawned two yellow mobs. Those are the only adds that he spawned. Everything else I just brought with me. So you're typically not going to be able to proc Immortal Offering or the that Assassin mod that 25% increased damage when an enemy's alone, because enemies are typically never going to be alone, but never going to be like enough that you can sort of abuse some of the AoE mechanics on them. And you see he stunned me there, but you can actually use Aether Jump to get right out of it. And you can stun them out of that leap if you have good timing, and it's especially easier to break them at the start for some reason. But this is a real easy one. You don't actually have to dodge the anything, because even that you could just jump out of. The AoE breath you could just tank, and the dash is not going to do any damage. You just have to follow him afterwards and apply your death ball later. And I believe that unspawns that guy. So we're going to click this here, and I'll go to the more results. So 10 minutes, usually you're going to go around 8-10 minutes. You're not going to see those insane times that you see on some of the other builds, but my idea with this build is it's going to be a consistent build that you can slowly improve, and none of the mechanics that are being used is anything that's going to be nerfed. You're not going to use like Mark of Impunity explosions, like absurd bleeding edge numbers, or just like ailment damage crit right when it got released. Just you're not going to be using any sort of nonsense. It's just honest, straight damage. Chance to double stacks inflicted. Bear to cast anomaly. That's pretty good actually. That could be a build. Double stacks inflicted, health. That could be worth building. Although it's actually no, it's a crappy base. But this one I might try to do like a melee build on. And then more details. Our highest hit is only going to be 90,000, but we're still able to kill these mobs with tons and tons of health. And the reason for that is you're going to have so many hits per second on all of your abilities, and all of them deal AoE, that not really going to be a problem. You're giving yourself a ton of buffs, using a bunch of skills, and tons of self-healing. I believe my self-healing here has actually superseded my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's actually more than the actual damage I've taken, and that healing is only from Leech and your Sacred Bulwark, and the Lightbringer heal. So this is the damage, the raw damage taken, which is just astronomically. This is 31 million, and the only actual damage you took was 2 million. And you see we deal a ton of damage, but the hits are very small, so it takes a while, but 10 minutes for an Untainted run is not really a while. So that's been the entire showcase. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you've liked the build, go ahead and give it a try yourself.